Hello, everyone. Hello, good afternoon. It's lovely to be here. It's been a while since I've been live on YouTube, and it's great to be back. So I'm very happy to be streaming live. I'm looking forward to reading your comments and interacting with you. I'm also streaming on Facebook. So hello, Facebook. If you are here, please do say hello and tell me how you're feeling today. Today, I'm feeling quite positive. Spring is in the air. It's cold here today, but beautifully sunny. There's blue skies, not a cloud in sight, and the days are noticeably longer, and that always makes me feel good. And I know they're longer because usually we judge the children's bedtime by the sun going down. So when it starts going dark, we know, oh, it's time to take the children up for bed. But now, yesterday, we looked at the clock and it was 7 o'clock and the sun was still out. And we were like, whoa, the children should be in the bath by now. What's going on? So it's definitely feeling like we're in the summertime or springtime, and the days are nice and long. So I'm feeling positive. While I'm here, I'm also going to let you know we've also got a spring sale over at englishlikeanative.co.uk. And that always makes me feel good, being able to offer a discount on our courses and products. So if you're interested in joining the ELAN community, then you can get 10% off any of our courses or products with the coupon code SPRING English, all one word, Spring English. Just head over to the website and take a look at what's on offer. It doesn't apply, of course, to our fluency program or the conversation club, but everything else it does. So let me see who's in here. Oh, wow. So many of you. So many of you. Hello. Hi. I'm feeling better. Oh, dear. Were you poorly? Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Anyway, hello, Leanne. First time here. Fantastic. Well, it's good to have you with me. Hello in Egypt. You're an English teacher. Brilliant. Lots of you saying where you're from. I've got Morocco. Oh, Argentina. Hello, Fernando. How are you doing today? Hello, I'm feeling tired today. The sun is at its highest degree here in Sierra Leone. Yeah, I think when it gets really warm, it can tire you out, can't it? Make you feel a little bit exhausted, really. I don't enjoy the very hot weather, I have to say. Hi from Sao Paulo. Hello. I'm watching from Bangladesh. Amazing. Mum, how to get a British accent? Well, there's lots of ways to get a British accent, but I highly recommend that you come along and watch my take part in my pronunciation masterclass, which is running this week and next week. You can register for the pronunciation masterclass. There are classes happening all the time. Just head over to the website, click on pronunciation, and register your interest for the next one. And I'll tell you exactly how to get a British accent. Another first timer. Hello from Pakistan. Hello. Oh, and another one in Kurdistan. Hi. Fantastic. All right. So we're here to learn English. So today we're looking at phrases or collocations using the word raise. To raise. So first, I'm going to ask you, can you think of any phrases that would use the word raise, raise, they sound the same. Can you think of any phrases that would use the word raise? To raise. What does raise mean? It means to lift something up. So you're supporting something, you're lifting something up. But there are certain ways in which we use this particular word, certain other words that we often match it with. Can you think of any? If you can, then write it in the comments and we'll kick off this session. To kick something off means to get it started. That is a phrasal verb, to kick off the celebrations, to start the celebrations, to kick off the lesson, to start the lesson. All right, so we've got a few here. All right, let me have a look. A salary raise. Yes, so that is exactly right. You might ask for a raise at work. So, oh, hang on, what's happening? Okay, yeah, there we go. Your comments are coming in so fast. So, if you are working really hard and you think, do you know what? I've been working for this company for years and I've been on the same salary year after year after year. And I think I've done a lot of good things for this company. And I think now, with my increased experience, I deserve a raise. So you might go into your boss and ask for a raise. Um, so ask to um, please raise my salary. Please raise my salary. I deserve it. You ask for a raise. Okay, what else? So I had, yeah, here raise funds, to raise funds. And another one, raising funds. Absolutely. So we often use raise when talking about money. If you need to get together a lump sum of cash, then you need to raise the funds to do that. So often charities will often say we need to raise $1 million to help the survivors of this earthquake, or we need to raise this money to support homeless people. So they often charities will talk about raising funds, to raise funds. You can even say raise cash, but often would say raise funds. Have you had to raise any funds recently? Have you had a big project that's required you to save up some money and raise the funds? Have you had to ask around your friends and family to help you to raise the funds to do something? Let me have a look. Okay, so another one, which is Klaus has reminded me of, is to raise children. Yes. Many of us here will be parents. We are parents or will be parents in the future, and you hopefully will raise your children to be happy, healthy, and respectful human beings. I always think of children as being like a project, a human project. Can you raise them to the best of your ability? So yes, we raise children. We support them in their growth. We raise them. Yes, there is a song. There is a song called "You Raise Me Up," which is a great song. I'm not going to try and sing it now because I've got blocked sinuses today. I think it might be a touch of hay fever. My sinuses are feeling. I feel like the wind's blowing in my face constantly. Agitated sinuses. So I won't sing. But if you want to sing, then you can. I'm listening. You raise the volume of a microphone. Yes. You raise the volume, you lower the volume. Very good. Now, to raise up your skills, we don't use raise in this particular context because we what do we do with our skills? We improve our skills. We develop our skills, yeah, but we don't raise them. We don't raise our skills. So we improve or we develop skills. Whenever I want to go to the blackboard, I raise my hand. Absolutely, yes. People will often say, well, they'll only say a show of hands. Can I have a show of hands? Who here has recently planted a daffodil? Can I see a show of hands? Or they might say, raise your hand if. Raise your hand if you would like to take part in today's lesson. I'd like to take part in today's lesson, please, sir. Fantastic. You raised your hand. Did you want to take part in the lesson? Yes, sir. Yes, yeah, yes. I'd love to. That's why I put my hand up. So you raise your hand. Okay. You raise, oh, there we go. Raise your voice. Absolutely. If I'm feeling angry, I might raise my voice. And you might say to someone, why did you raise your voice then? That's unnecessary. You don't need to raise your voice. Please lower your voice. You don't need to raise your voice. Don't you raise your voice to me. So it's very commonly used to raise your voice and to raise your hand. While we're on the subject of bodies, raise your hand, raise your voice. What other body parts might you raise? If I'm questioning something you've just said, what am I gonna lift up? I'll raise my and I've just been given a glass of water. Fantastic. Yeah, you could raise your head. That's yeah. A couple of you saying raise your head, raise your head. So literally just to lift your head up. I walked into a room and no one raised their head. Eyebrow, Fernando, you've got it. That's what I was looking for, to raise an eyebrow. So this is obviously you can physically say he might raise an eyebrow, like literally lift them up. But this is actually suggesting that people are not they're either questioning what you're doing or they don't think what you're doing is the right thing to do. So they think your behavior is a little bit inappropriate, perhaps. So I could say, if I walked out into the street in my dressing gown, it might raise a few eyebrows. It might raise a few eyebrows, meaning the neighbors or anyone who sees me might go, what is she doing walking around the street in her dressing gown? They might not physically lift their eyebrows up, but that's the reaction, that questioning, where you normally would raise your eyebrows. But yes, we use it almost metaphorically. Okay. Someone says to raise your hair. So when we lift our hair up, say if I'm going to do a ponytail, I'd lift my hair to tie it, but I wouldn't say raise my hair. I'd say I tie my hair back or I tie my hair up or put my hair up, but I wouldn't say raise my hair. Oh, something could be hair raising though. Yeah, that's a good one. To be hair raising. If something is hair raising, then it's what? It's like shocking. Puts your that's hair raising. Like it might be that you're on a roller coaster ride and that's like yeah, hair raising. Like a bit scary, exciting, a bit scary, hair raising. Okay. You guys are fantastic. The boy raises the flag. Yes, of course. Anything that you're lifting up, so you're raising the flag. You're bringing that up. I might raise a glass. You'll be asked if you're at a dinner or a celebration, a wedding. They'll say, ladies and gentlemen, please raise a glass and let's make a toast to the bride and groom. And you all raise your glasses. So you're lifting your glass up to say, cheers to the bride and groom. And then you drink. So you raise a glass. Please raise a glass. Thank you for that one. Just scrolling back over these comments here to see. Oh, yes, you can raise the water levels. So we can say that the heavy rain might raise the water levels. It certainly has in our pond. Our pond is full because we had quite a lot of heavy rain recently. Okay, if I've missed your comment, I apologize. I'm just scrolling back down to the bottom now to try and see what's more current. All right. So, have you heard of this phrase? To raise the bar. To raise the bar. Does anyone know what this means? If I say to you, we are, it's a business meeting. for our t-shirt company, and we're struggling to make sales because our competitor is they're taking all the customers. We need to raise the bar. So what does that mean? We need to raise the bar because our competitor is taking all of our customers. What does it mean? There's a few suggestions coming through. To set higher expectations. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. To make something more difficult. Not quite. Here we go, to improve the level. Yeah, so if you think of the bar as something that you need to jump over, a hurdle almost, if you're raising it, you're bringing the level up. So if we're talking about a product or a company who's offering a service or product, then if you're raising the bar, then you're making the basic level higher. So the quality of the output is higher. So you need to raise the bar. For example, if I am a teacher in a school and every year my students on average achieve a C, if we're going with, this is probably the old way of grading it, I'm thinking about GCSEs and A-levels, but if A is the best, on average my students get a C every year, my 30 students. Next year I need to raise the bar and make sure that on average my students get a B. And then after that, I might want to raise the bar again and say, on average, my students need to achieve an A. So that's really raising the bar. It's to bring up your standards of what you want to achieve. Yeah, to raise the standards, to raise the bar. Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, so that to raise the bar, that's something you probably hear in business. If something raises questions, so I might say, 2 children were found alone in the car park. They were locked into the car park on a really hot day, and they had to be assisted because they were unwell because of the heat. And the reason their mother had left them in the car was because children were banned from entering the supermarket. So imagine there's a supermarket, they've banned children from entering. So this mother, who desperately needs to buy groceries, has locked her young children in the car for 20 minutes while she runs in and gets some groceries. But it created a problem. These children, they shouldn't have been left alone in a hot car. And it's an incident, an issue. The police were called, the car was broken into, the children were taken out and taken to hospital. And this incident raises questions about the policy of no children being allowed in the supermarket. So it creates questions, it raises questions. It would also raise questions over the mother's ability to be a responsible parent, wouldn't it? So it raises questions, it makes you question something. Okay, another common way of using raise is to raise the alarm. To raise the alarm. If someone raises the alarm, it just means that they told everyone. They're like the whistleblower or the person who literally sets off the alarm. So whoever raises the alarm, they're the person who shouts for help, who says something's wrong, we need help. Okay, you could say that so recently there's been a lot of talk in our media about misogyny and racism within the police force in the UK. And this has been all over the news. And I'm sure that the investigation that led to this, it's not an assumption, but the investigation that led to this, what's the word I'm looking for? The investigation that led to this conclusion that there's misogyny and racism existing in our police force must have been triggered by someone raising the alarm. And from what I've heard, the alarm was raised by police officers actually working within the force saying, sorry, there's something wrong here. I've encountered incidents of misogyny or incidents of racism, and this isn't right. Something needs to happen. So it was actual police officers that raised the alarm about things that were going wrong within the police force. They raised the alarm. They told people. Okay. What else? Oh, yes. So we talked about raising children earlier, but a common phrase that you might hear is to be born and raised. So you'd say this phrase when talking about where you grew up. So where were you born and where did you grow up? So I would say I was born and raised in the north of England. I was actually born in one part of the north and raised in another part of the north. But in general, I was born and raised in the north of England. If I was talking to a global audience, then I might say I was born and raised in England, because that's true. But if I was talking to people in the UK, I'd say I was born and raised in the north, but now I live in the south of the UK. Where were you born and raised? Let me know. Where were you born and where did you grow up? Where were you born and raised? Okay, what else do we have? Ah, yes, one that I saw in the comments earlier, but I didn't mention was to raise awareness. This is very common, to raise awareness of something. It literally is just to make more people aware of something that's going on. Okay, so obviously since the birth of social media, um, we now have a much greater awareness of things going on around the world, and we're not just relying on the news to give us uh, the lowdown of what's going on around the world. Influencers and just everybody can raise awareness by using social media, and that's what happens all the time. Obviously, risks associated with that. There's lots of fake news going on. But generally, social media has been good for raising awareness of things going on, to raise awareness. Charities, as well as raising funds, will want to raise awareness about things, especially things like mental health issues. Yeah, good. Okay, so we've so far covered to raise your hand, to raise your eyes and eyebrows, to raise an eyebrow, to raise your head, to raise a flag, to raise any kind of funds. So someone mentioned raising deposits. I need to raise a deposit for my flat. If I'm going to rent a flat in London, I need to raise quite a big deposit. So you raise any kind of money. You raise children. You can be born and raised in a place. I am not born and raised in England. I was born and raised in Egypt. Fantastic. Okay, so to be born and raised. You raise the alarm. So you trigger the alarm when you tell people when something's gone wrong, when someone needs help. You ask for a raise at work if you believe that you deserve more money. You ask for a raise. An incident or your behavior or something you say might raise questions. Sometimes the behavior of our ministers in government raises questions about policy and about their suitability to actually govern the country. There's been a lot of that recently. In your company, you might need to raise the bar, so improve your standards, improve your output. Can we think of any others? If a ship has sunk, then you may need to raise the funds and raise awareness about it in order to raise more funds to raise the ship to the surface once again. I think there was There was talk about whether or not the Titanic could be raised, but I think that would be too difficult, especially now. I think it would fall to pieces, break apart. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, yes, lots of people talk about this book in on my shelf here. Have you read it? Oh, yeah, okay. So you said here the flower did raise as expected. So flour doesn't rise, does it? Flour doesn't rise. Flour is just the ingredient that goes into like bread. So the bread would rise or not. And I don't know if we'd say the bread you I don't know if you'd use raise with bread, because raise as opposed to rise is about support. So if something comes up on its own, it rises. And if something is lifted, then it's raised. I'm not confused with that, am I? No. So I don't think bread, I think bread rises. Okay, dough rises. There you go. Yeah, dough. Okay, so yeah, levels. We can talk about general levels rising. No, we're not talking about rising. We're talking about raising. You might need to raise the levels of something within your company. So you might need to raise taxes. The ministers decide to raise taxes. That's not fun. Okay. Yeah, I think we've covered them all. Okay. So, I want you to write me a sentence in the comments now using one of the versions of raise that we've covered. So either that you're born and raised somewhere, talking about raising children, or a time when you had to raise the alarm. You give me a couple of sentences. Perhaps a time when you needed to raise the bar. For example, I've been doing YouTube for many years now, and there comes a time when I realize I need to raise the bar in terms of the quality of my content. If I find that my views and general YouTube growth is slow and stagnant, so it's not changing, or perhaps dipping, starting to go down, then I'll take a moment. I'll do some research. I'll look around, see what's happening. I'll talk to my viewers, talk to my students. And usually I come to the conclusion that I need to raise the bar. I need to improve the quality of my output, especially as technology is always improving and changing. And people are getting better and better at making content because it's becoming more widely available to everybody. We all have amazing cameras on our phones, and editing software that's on our phones now. I mean, it's crazy what you can achieve with a phone. And so I need to regularly try and raise the bar of the videos I put out to help you guys to improve your English. And just as a reminder, if improving your English is important to you, then we do have a spring sale on at the moment. I know that I'm flashing it down below, but just in case you haven't seen that, if you'd like to join one of my courses and you haven't got round to it yet, then for the Easter holidays, we are running a spring sale. You can get 10% off any of the products or courses with the code Spring English. What courses do I have? Well, we have a pronunciation course. We have a pronunciation assessment. You can get assessed by me. We have English level courses, B1, B2, C1, C2, or we have the English program, which encompasses all of those. We have a business English course as well. It's very thorough. We have a phrasal verb booster course. So if you'd like to learn 300 phrasal verbs in 30 days, it's really good fun. If you'd like to do that, and it's a really great course, that one. You can get 10% off. I have an IPA workbook as well. So if you're interested in learning phonetics, the phonetic symbols to improve your pronunciation, then that's available too. Is there anything else? Oh, we have the Elan library. So access to lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of lesson notes, PDFs, and all future lesson notes and PDFs are constantly added to the library. All you need is a library card and you get lifetime access to all the PDFs and future PDFs in the library. So there's lots on offer, hopefully something to help everybody. But if you're not in the market for joining a course or taking a product, then just stick with me. Stick with me here because I'm also providing as much free content as I possibly can. Now, let's see what you guys have been writing. I want to raise my hand to say something. I was born and raised in Egypt, and I want to raise my wariness. I want to raise my wariness. So, okay, so first of all, there's a 3 different phrases, the sentences that you've put in there. So make sure you're using full stops. Okay, so I want to raise my hand and say something. Full stop. I was born and raised in Egypt, and I don't know what you mean with this last bit. I want to raise my wariness. I want to raise my wariness. If you're wary of something, you are kind of nervous of it. You're watching it because you don't trust it. I'm wary. I'm a bit nervous. I'm wary of big dogs. I'm wary of dogs that I don't know. I'm cautious, basically. I don't know if it's going to bite me or whatever. So to be wary of something. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what you mean with that last section. Let me see. Oh, raise prices. That was a good one. Yeah, we could raise prices. I didn't mention that one. I mentioned raising taxes. We don't, but we also raise prices. Every year prices go up. They're constantly being raised. And the landlord raises the rent. Yeah, landlord raised the rent. To raise hell. To raise hell. Yeah, like to cause kind of like chaos, and my children raise hell regularly in my house. That was a really good one. Thank you. Please do not raise your voice so much. You're being rude and there's no need to be so. Very good. Very good. Thank you. I need to ask my boss for a raise. Yes, very good. Oh, thank you. I am born in Iraq and raised on Iraq. So here you'd say I was, or I was, because it all happened in the past. You're a grown man now. I was born and raised in Iraq. I was born and raised in Iraq. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, sorry. How do I improve my conversation skills if I don't have a partner to practice? So there are lots of things you can do for having conversations. If you don't have a partner, you can have a conversation with yourself. You can record one half of a conversation, so maybe like the questions, and then play it back and talk to yourself. Obviously, it's not as spontaneous that way. I have some videos that are conversation videos where I prompt you and you have space to speak freely. So just look for Speak With Me videos. There's a playlist, I think, of Speak With Me videos. But if you really want spontaneous conversation, you need to find a partner. I know it's not easy. I do have a conversation club, which is very reasonably priced. It's $25 a month, and you get a lot for that price. incredibly reasonably priced considering what you get for the price. You can just go onto my website and have a look at Conversation Club. Okay, let me see if I can find any more examples. Hardly had I looked for a way to improve my English when I came across Anna Tyree. Is that Anna Tyree you're trying to write there? Anna Tyree's course, and I decided to raise the bar. Very good, very good. I think you were trying to write my surname. My surname is like this, Tyree. Tyree, not an easy one, I understand. But that was nice. Hardly had I looked for a way to improve my English when I came across Anna Tyree's course, and I decided to raise the bar. Very poetic. I love it. To raise the stakes. Yes. Yes, raising the stakes can be risky. If you raise the stakes, you put more on the line. You risk more. If you raise the stakes, then you risk more. Yeah, just like gambling. You risk more to hopefully gain more. All right. What do I think about Chat GPT? So I think it's both exciting and terrifying. I think like with any huge technological step forward, any big development comes big change. Like, I lived through the mobile phone coming in. I lived through I remember having no computer. I remember having no internet. I remember that time, how free and simple life was before that time. But also now I understand how beneficial it is. Everything I do for work, all the people I connect with, all my students who I have the joy of helping, I would not be able to service without the internet, without computers, without my phone, without my camera. All these improvements have brought such joy to so many people's lives and improved the quality of people's lives, but also it comes with great risk. It comes with, you know, I think the worry is manipulation. That's what concerns me with Chat GPT, how it can be used to also it's going to really fundamentally change people's work. Like there are lots of people who are going to have to adjust in order to continue working because Chat GPT will and similar AI. It's not just Chat GPT. There's other AI softwares out there that do the similar thing. But lots of people's work now is going to be made they're going to be redundant. They're not going to be needed because the AI will do their job in a fraction of the time and for free. So lots of people are going to have to adjust what they do in order to be relevant and to continue to have a job. And I think that's scary. That's scary it scares me. I'm scared. You can make videos now with AI. Who needs me anymore? Who needs me when you've got ChatGPT? I'm irrelevant, and that's scary. But hopefully you guys will still want the real humans to connect with and to learn with. Okay, so everyone in my basketball team has improved their skills. I personally need to raise the bar. So everyone in my basketball has improved their skills. I personally need to raise the bar. Very good. To raise one's fists in anger. Yes. Hopefully you don't get too angry and need to do that. Okay, this one. The teacher asks us to raise a fund for people who make ends meet to find daily food. So we'd say raise funds rather than raise a fund. You raise funds, you raise money. So the teacher asks us to raise funds for people who so we would say who struggle to make ends meet. The teacher has asked us to raise funds for people who struggle to make ends meet in order to find daily in order to find food on a daily basis. That would sound more natural. Who struggle to make ends meet to find food on a daily basis. Yeah, great. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have taken up too much of your time, but I do hope that the time we spent together has been productive and useful for you. If it has, then please can you give this video a like or a heart if you are on Facebook? This just lets Facebook and YouTube know that I am relevant and that this is useful in some way. And then, those guys do a little bit more to try and find new followers for me. So I'd really appreciate if you could give this a little bit of support. I will come back again next week if you'd like me to. Let me have a look. Yeah, I think I can do that. I've got space in my diary to be able to join you again. What kind of thing would you like to do in another live if I lived again? If I live streamed again, because normally on a Tuesday I'm very busy, because I have a live stream already with my course students and my conversation club students. We do an exclusive live every Tuesday at 4:30. Students on my pronunciation course or those who've just bought the assessment. So Tuesdays are very busy, but I can squeeze in a regular little live with you guys if you'd like me to. Okay, so a couple of suggestions to describe pictures. Okay. Idioms. To cover idioms. Okay. Well, to raise the bar is an idiom, so there you've got one. Slang. British slang. Okay. Did you see my 10 slang phrases to describe people video that came out? I think it was 2 weeks ago now, or just over a week ago. That was a good video, I think. So yeah, go and check that one out. And also there's some free lesson notes available with that one, so you can download those notes if slang's important to you. Mark, all the time I hear American English, but I love the British accent. However, at the same time, I feel that is more difficult for me. What am I supposed to do? I would say always follow your heart. If something is difficult, then it's probably worth the effort, especially if it's something you love. So just because something is difficult is not a reason to shy away from it. If it's something you love and you want, then work hard for it. I mean, of course, I'm going to be an advocate for the British accent because that's what I teach. But if you love it, then that should be the primary motivation. Okay. And things are always hard until they're easy. Today you might find it hard, but then with a little work in a week, it might be significantly easier. So just one step at a time. You want culture. You want to know about culture. Okay. I can do culture. I'm cultured. We need idioms to raise the bar. Yes, brilliant. English jokes. I can tell a few jokes. Could try that. Could you please teach us how to use should, could, and would? I do have videos on this particular subject. Do you know how to search for a video on a particular creator's account? Because I know you can just go to YouTube, search for something, and it brings up lots of different videos. But if you have a YouTuber that you particularly enjoy, if you go to their channel and then onto videos, there's normally a little search. I think even if you just go to their channel, there's a little search icon and you can search for a video on their channel. So if you wanted to find my should, would, could video, then all you have to do is type in one of those words on my channel and it should come up. It should come up, hopefully. Are you still working as an actress? No, not really. I don't have an agent, therefore I'm not actively out looking for work. And the reason is I'm so busy looking after my English students and my children that I don't really have time to go out and do acting jobs. Acting jobs are really good fun, but they are very disruptive. They come at a moment's notice. You don't know in advance that the job is around the corner, and then suddenly you get a phone call and you could be out tomorrow filming something. And the hours are long. Sometimes you go away from home for a long time. So it's not really suited to my lifestyle now. I'm very dedicated to my kids and to my students. Tourism topics. Interesting. Okay. Accents from different parts of the UK. I do have lots of accent videos here. I'm not likely to cover different accents, in a live lesson. It's easier to do it with a model, modeling the accent. A joke. Years ago, I threw away a boomerang really hard. I've lived in constant fear since. Just in case it comes back. Okay. Great. All right. Oh my goodness, what's this? What's the difference between spinach and boogers? I think you mean like bogies. There's different ways of saying it, but bogies. Kids don't eat spinach. Oh, that's gross. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Please, would you do a video about operator verbs? Yeah, I need to make a big list of content for future videos. Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to sit here and just chit chat and waste your time. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Don't forget, we do have that spring sale on for 10% off over Easter. You just have to head to the website, www.englishlikeanative.co.uk. And when you go to checkout of any product, use the code SPRING ENGLISH, all one word, to get your 10% off. I look forward to seeing you next week. And if you come and join me in one of my courses or community, then I look forward to seeing you in the Telegram group and in the community and in our live sessions. Great. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.